All right, so today we're gonna need a elevated surface, and if you don't have anything, then that's fine. You can still adjust, but again, that table, chair, couch, anything that's nice and stable for you to step up onto and be able to elevate your leg on. So just remember, I try to make all these classes around being mostly body weight, but if you have weights and the extra things like to step up on, then it's awesome. Just adds that much more of a challenge to keep your body growing rather than just plateauing. So we're actually going to start on the floor for our warm-up today, so that'll be a nice change of pace. So laying down here, we're going to do some leg swings and hip circles to really warm up through those hips. So you're laying down on your side. You can lay all the way down, whatever, you have a support on your hand. And with your top leg, we're going to swing the leg forward. So just come towards the center and then forward. So we'll go forward and then we'll move it backward. And then we'll add some hip circles in. We're doing about 30 seconds or so for each movement. So remember, you swing forward and then just stack the leg on top of the other. Try not to go all the way back behind. And just try to keep the upper body as stable as possible. Hi. Hi, Liz. I recognize people now sometimes by their room if I can't see their face. Okay, now we're going to take it backwards. So stack the legs and then just move that leg back behind you. Last 10 here. And time, so now we're going into the circles. So big circles going clockwise. And then we'll switch that direction, going backwards. Try and make those circles nice and big. Really start to get into that hip complex. And switch directions. If you add some ankle weights to these, you got a solid workout. Final 10 seconds. And time. Okay, just switch it around. Other side, starting with that front swing. And here we go, first 30. Those of you just joining in, we're just taking some leg swings on the floor here. Okay, switch it, take those swings backwards, reaching behind you a little further.
Outside.
Final 10 seconds. And hip circles clockwise. Oh yeah, I feel it in those hips today for sure. and counterclockwise. Last 30 seconds here, then we'll get up out of this position. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're not coming quite all the way to the feet. We're gonna go for this greatest stretch in the world here. So step your right foot forward, left foot back. The knee can be on the floor here, so you're in like a low lunge. You're gonna take your right elbow, so same arm as the forward leg. Reach up to the sky, gaze up past those fingertips, and then you're gonna bring it in. Try to bring that elbow inside the leg towards the floor and just opening up like so. So just getting that rotation down and up. If you want a little more, you can come up off your back knee. Let the hips sink down towards the floor. Let the chest open up at the top. Keep going here for a few more seconds before we switch sides. And go ahead, step the other leg forward, other leg back. Left arm up and twist it in. We're about halfway there, so if you want to lift up that back knee, go for it. And time. All right, now come all the way up to those feet. We're gonna go for some alternating forward lunges here. Just 30 seconds in these to kind of flush everything out from the floor, and then we'll get started in our circuit. So forward lunges, alternating. Here we go. Drop that back knee. Remember, shoulders stay over the hips, torso stays up nice and tall here. And time. All right, so if you guys are just joining, I know we had a few people join in just a couple minutes after. We just need an elevated surface today for a couple of these moves. If you don't have it, it'll be pretty simple to modify without that. So just like I did on Tuesday, we're just gonna go through, I'll explain the exercise as we go through, like use our rest to go through the next exercise, instead of go through all of them at once to save a little bit of time. So starting off with our surface here, with our elevated surface, we are gonna do some lateral step ups. So lateral meaning you're just standing to the side instead of forward facing. So standing at the side here, one leg comes up and you're stepping all the way up. My ceiling's a little symmetrical here. I gotta move out to the center. There we go. So weights or no weights. First round, maybe try no weights. Second, you can go. So with weights if you need. So 45 seconds each leg. Foxy, stop it. Got an itchy dog, sorry. All right, side one. Step to side, and here we go. So you're pressing through the lifted foot. Remember that. You're not pressing off the grounded foot. You can come all the way down, come all the way up, stand up nice and tall. So again, remember that first round. Still might feel a little bit like a warm-up if you haven't been moving around much. So go ahead, take it all body weight. Let your body fully warm up. Let your joints go through these movements, through these motions, and then add weight for the second and third round. where it gets really easy to start to push off the bottom foot. It's that elevated foot doing the work. Time, just switch sides. Second side. Here we go. Keep going here. So watch that knee on that elevated leg as you come down and up. You don't want it to be too wobbly. Try and slow it down. Land super soft. If you're landing hard on the floor, that might mean that you need to lower the surface. Time. Awesome. All right. Next here, no surface, no weights. We're just doing lunge hops. Soxy, come on, you gotta go. Get out of the way. Sorry, buddy. Had to kick out my buddy today. Okay, so lunge switch hops here. Start one leg forward, one leg back, and just switch in there. 45 seconds. Here we go. Remember, if you're feeling good, you can definitely even add weights to these if you like. But I'd rather you work on a little more speed than worry about the weight. Get that heart pumping a little bit. Try to make sure that front heel is making contact with the ground each time. Final 10. Time, all right. Take a breather. Okay, we're gonna go back to our elevated surface here. So this time, we're gonna do some side lunges with that leg elevated. So adding a little deficit here. So one leg up, step out enough so that when you squat down, that knee can stay right over the ankle. Weights again optional. All right, side one. Here we go. If you do not have a surface at all to do this, then you can just do side lunges, both feet on the floor. But it doesn't have to be much. It could be anything like a stack of books, a few pillows, just something to raise that foot a few inches off the ground, and you'll notice a bit of a difference. So remember, we want to keep that back nice and straight. We're not collapsing through the upper back. Our collarbone stays wide. Drive through the heel of that squatting leg. Awesome. Switch sides. I hate not facing you guys, but I got to. Okay, here we go. Side two. Go for it. Maybe much more of a stretch through that extended leg in this. Enjoy that. Those hips are going back as you're lowering down into that lunge. Squeeze the standing leg at the top. Time. Awesome. All right. Next move here, we're going to do some swings. So remember, it can be something really light for weight if you got it. Even just a backpack would be awesome there if you have it nearby. Dumbbell, anything. If nothing, that's fine too. You're just going to work on your hinge. So So I'm going to demonstrate with nothing here. I'm standing up straight, hinging my hips like I would in a deadlift. Hands come between the legs and drive the hips forward. Arms come up. If you have no weight, you can bring the arms up overhead. If you have weight, I like to stick to the Russian swing and my hands just come out to shoulder height. So just a hinge, hips driving the movement. All right, 45 seconds here. Let's do it. Keep bracing that core through this whole movement. Gallon of water or something, anything can work for this. Sorry, I forgot to mention that at the beginning that we have this move. But again, if you're doing this with no weight, you can use this time to think about what you might be able to swing between the legs as you're warming up the body for a weighted round. Time. Beautiful. All right, taking it to the floor for some bridges. So we're doing butterfly bridges today. Oh, lost my butterfly bridges, so the feet are together, knees out wide, heels as close to your groin as you can get them, and lift the hips, squeeze the butt at the top. Here we go. Again, for weight, you just throw it right across those thighs, right on the hips. Press the outer edges of the feet into the floor while pressing the knees away from you. So don't let the knees fold up at the top. Try to actively push them towards the earth. Remember, a nice big squeeze at the top. And time. All right. Back to those feet. Okay, coming up next here, we've got some false lunges. So let's see, try to get this camera. So for a false lunge, it's a lunge without putting your back foot down. So it feels kind of like a single leg squat. So let's say you're standing on your left leg, you'll reach the right leg back, lowering the knee towards the floor and coming back up. So you can always put something under that knee for like a gauge of where you're at, or you can totally step that foot back if you're uncomfortable there. Arms can be out in front, reach it back, come back up. So my foot stays lifted. Try not to hinge super far. There will be a little bit of a hinge, but try not to let yourself totally collapse there. All right, side one, here we go. And in response to Joe on Facebook here, I have a kettlebell, but this backpack has weighted water bladders in it because it's made for doing all these movements, swings and all that. So it's got 24 pounds of these water reservoirs, so the water moves around too, so it makes it an unstable weight, adding to the challenge. So there. So take these nice and slow as you need to prevent that wobble. I've definitely got pretty wobbly there as I'm chatting away. Time. All right. Side two. Stabilize that front leg. Here you go. Lunge it back. Core stays nice and braced. Because even though we're hinging a little in our upper body, that's not a rounding through the spine. So just remember that. Core will stay tight to keep the spine straight. It's more in the hips that are causing us to drop forward, not our spine. Final 10 seconds. Time. Awesome. Take a little bit of a rest here. And going in to round 2 here in a few seconds. So if it's time for you to add weight to any of these, awesome. Real quick, if you didn't have that surface for the step ups, you can do a modified like single leg squat here. Leg out in front instead of behind you like those lunges. All right, so lateral step ups coming up next. I'm gonna add some weight this time. All right, guys, get started on that first side. Lift that leg, and here we go. And we're coming all the way down with control. Prevent that push off. Ah, I totally pushed off there. If you added weight, you might notice that maybe your surface feels a little higher. Then you either drop the weight or take it down a step. Time. All right. Side 2. Flipping her around. All right. Get set. Here we go. I swear I keep moving this box. We're in some moves, even if we're in person, I can see you and adjust you, but there's still certain things that will be hard for me to tell if you're doing it or not. So that's where you need to remember, like for one, with the push off, I can somewhat tell by looking at people, a lot harder to tell online than in person, but that's something you have to take accountability for yourself. Be honest with yourself about whether you're pushing off or not. Time. All right, lunge hops. Switching those hops, step it if you need. 45 seconds. One leg forward, one back. Here we go. Again, and you're gonna be the only one who knows what's left in your tank, if you can go faster or not. I like to give you the cues, like, hey, you got 15 seconds, pick it up if you can, because I don't know what you did yesterday. I don't know what's going on internally. It might have been hard enough just to wake up and stand here today for you. So I want to motivate you to do what you can, but you have to rely on yourself as well to push it to the level you know you can. Final 3, 2, whew, time. Okay, back to our box if you got it. Elevated side lunge here. See how many different names I can give everything for you guys. Again, feel free to add some weight. Foot up. Step it out as wide as you need to keep that knee over the ankle. And here we go, lunging. Time. Perfect. Side 2. Let's see. All right, get set. Here we go. And again, as we do timed rounds, and you guys can't see the clock, feel free to count your reps just to see where you stand, to help you keep track of what you are doing. And then you have a little comparison to each round. Know if you're kind of staying within the same range, which is not a bad thing at all. Especially if you get 15, 20 or so in the first round, and you're still doing that by the end, that's great. If you drop down by like 10, you're like, oh, what's changed? Did I go too fast and too hard the first round? Or did I just kind of get lazy in the last round? Time. Whew. All right, swings are next. If you did have a place to hook up a band to, you could do pull-throughs. I do not, so it's hard for me to show that. Okay, remember, hinge. Get set, here we go. If you do have something you're swinging and it's easy to switch hands, you can do alternating. If you got a real kettlebell, dumbbell might be a little more tricky, I'm not sure, I haven't tried it. Remember, no weight. Take those arms up overhead and get really open and tall. Time. Whew. Good job. We take it to the floor for a butterfly. Bridges next. Allow yourself to get down to the floor as you need so that you're catching your breath a little bit before you're laying down. Okay, feet together, knees wide, and here we go. We're at the outer edges of the feet, press into the floor, pressing the knees away, opening through those hips as we squeeze the glutes. I know I've talked about these packs that I have probably quite a bit, but I have a link too, but they sold completely out. That's how crazy it got with this whole pandemic and people looking for at-home workout equipment. They're completely out until maybe August. Time. But I highly recommend them come August and they're back in stock. It's like, as you've seen, I can do pretty much everything with them and add up to 60 pounds in it. Okay, feet, false lunge. If you have a TRX or anything like that, you can always like hook a towel into a door to help with stability if you need it. Okay, get set, side one, here we go. So remember, foot and knee stay lifted. Try to keep yourself square to the front. Try not to let that hip shoot out to the side. I have a real problem with that. Think about that foot reaching straight back behind you. Final seconds. Time. Side two. Remember, feel stable and grounded, so lift that foot, back foot. Get solid through the front leg and lunge it back. The way my room is arranged today is not very efficient for my filming and activities. Woo, 15 seconds. And you can definitely have weights here, Might actually help a little bit with balance. Sometimes I feel like in certain moves that counterbalance really helps. Time. Okay, just a little rest. And then we just have one more round of this because we got a good finisher coming up. So I'll let you know that there is a finisher. So save a little gas, right? But of these movements, this will be the last round of them. So it's time to add that weight if you haven't. Time to get a little deeper and see where you can go with this. All right, step ups. Third round here. Let's get set. And get that foot up there. Here we go, third round. Good morning, Kelly, by the way. Saw you join in, I just forgot to say hi. Oh gosh. Final 5 seconds. Time. Whew, side 2. Feel free always to, if you're trying to think of what you can use around the house and you're out of ideas, send me a message. I can try and help you out. Side 2, here we go. Especially around this time of quarantine. I know some of us might be starting to lack that creativeness. Final 15 seconds. Time. All right. Lunge hops, getting our cardio on here. Whew. One leg forward, one back. Remember last round of these? So just go the whole time. Let's do it. Try to keep that back knee getting low. Don't end up getting lazy and straightening it out. Final 15. Five, 4, 3, 2, time. Whew. Awesome. Elevated side lunge. One foot up, step it out, and here we go. Your toe which way is comfortable. I point mine up to the ceiling. If it's comfortable for you to have it forward, go for it, but in this position, it can be a lot more straining on the hip. Final few seconds here. Time. Side 2. Get set. Whoop. Lunge. Lost my pack. Go ahead. Time's on. Hip stacking right over that grounded heel at the top. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, time. Awesome. Swings coming at you. All right, get set and swing. Those hips go right back. Get no rounding through the shoulders here. Final 15 seconds. Keep driving forward with those hips. Forward and back. Three, 2, time. All right, again, give yourself a deep breath if you need before getting to the floor. Once we lay down, it can be a little bit harder to breathe, so I want you to catch your breath before just plopping down. All right. Butterfly bridges. Feet together, knees out, and lift those hips. Last 2 moves in the circuit here. And we got the best for last. 10 seconds. Press into those feet, lift those hips high, you got it. Time. Okay, false lunges. Here we go. Up to our feet, right into side 1, let's do it. Don't let that hip of that floating leg open up. It stays in front of you. Stack it up tall. Last little bit here. And switch. Side 2, straight into it. Go ahead. Final 15. Three, 2, time. All right. Take a little towel off and sip here. I'm gonna just rearrange real quick and then show you what our finisher is. All right. So our finisher is going to be a 5-minute AMRAP. So as many rounds as possible. 3 moves. First one here is a prisoner squat. So you'll start on your knees. Remember, when you're on your knees, your butt's not back. Hips stacked over the knees. Prisoner squat. So 1 foot up, then the other. Hop. Back down. And up. And hop. 5 of those. I find it easiest to count at my hop. I hop, that's 1. I hop, that's 2. 5 of those. Then you're going to take it to the floor, to your hands. I got an option here, a modification here. So we got donkey kicks. So your heels to butt. 10. If that's too much on shoulders, you do 10 bridges. You can do 5 and 5 single leg if you want for a little extra challenge. And then 15 ass to grass squats. So that means you're getting your ass to the grass or to the ground. So spread those feet out as wide as you might need. Toes turn out to keep the knees in line with the toes. Squat it down and back up. 15. So you have 5, 10, 15. 5 prisoner squats, 10 donkey kicks, 15 ass to ground squats. Repeat those for 5 minutes. So let's start together on those knees, hips forward, 1 foot up then the other, add that hop. Come down gently on the knees. All right, guys, 5 minutes, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then donkey kicks. That transition from the prisoner squats is a little funny. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heels to butt in those. Try to get the shoulders over those hands. 15 ass to ground squats. I think the squats are the hardest. Prisoner squats, 5 again. Little rest. Take breaths when you need it, but keep working through this round. Finishers are called finishers for a reason. You should be feeling done afterwards. Reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Finish him! So after your 5th jump, just go to your hands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 minutes in, guys. Pay attention to your knees and these ass to ground. If they're hurting, keep the butt up higher. Holy shit. 6. Ooh, really slowing down in these squats. Keep it up, minute 45, guys. So Possibly just these two this round and one more next. See if you can end on a full round finish. Push yourself. Whew. Holy crap. Squats are deadly. Coming into those prisoner squats. 20 seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, time. Oh, walk it out. Shake it out. Like I said, at the end of a finisher, you should feel finished. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Get a good stretch in those quads. Let's see, as for now, so we're on Tuesday, and my newsletter was late this morning. Sorry, forgot last night. For crazy, can't believe it, after 2 months. But, so anyway, I'm thinking Wednesday, maybe next Wednesday for an outdoor workout. I'm gonna make some calls Friday to the rec center and whatnot and see what I would have to do to use one of their parks, what it would take, and see if we can find a place probably around 8:30. I know it'd be full body weight, but if you have your own weights, you can bring them. All right, so thank you guys so much, and I'll see you Tuesday, and I'll let you know about the outdoor workout. Bye, guys. Thanks, you too. Bye, Facebook.